Good day everyone, and welcome to my recording. Today I will be reading Chapter 2 of Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson, which is currently in the public domain. Whether you're winding down for the night, or just hoping for a moment's relaxation, I hope you enjoy. Also, please subscribe to my channel and like my video, it would help me greatly. Chapter 2. "Well," said he, "my mate Bill would be called the captain, as like as not. He has a cut on one cheek, and a mighty pleasant way with him, particularly in drink, as my mate Bill. We'll put it, for argument's sake, that your captain has a cut on one cheek, and we'll put it, if you like, that that cheek's the right one. Now is my mate Bill in this here house?" I told him he was out walking. "Which way, sonny? Which way's he gone?" And when I had pointed out the rocky headland and told him how the captain was likely to return, and how soon, "Ah," said he, "this'll be as good as drink to my mate Bill." The expression of his face as he said these words was not at all pleasant. I had my own reasons for thinking that the stranger was mistaken, even supposing he meant what he said, but it was no affair of mine, I thought, and besides, it was difficult to know what to do. The stranger kept hanging about just inside the inn door, peering around the corner like a cat waiting for a mouse. Once I stepped out myself into the road, but he immediately called me back, and as I did not obey quick enough for his fancy, a most horrible change came over his sallow face, and he ordered me in with an oath that made me jump. As soon as I was back again, he returned to his former manner, half fawning, half sneering, and patted me on the shoulder, told me I was a good boy, and he had taken quite a fancy to me. "I have a son of me own," he said, "as like to you as 2 blocks, and he's all the pride of me heart. But the great thing for boys is discipline, sonny, discipline. Now if you had sat along with Bill, you wouldn't have stood there to be spoken to twice, not you. That was never Bill's way, nor the way of such as sailed with him. And there sure enough is my mate Bill, with a spyglass under his arm, bless his old heart, to be sure. You and me just get back into the parlour, sonny, and get behind the door, and we'll give Bill a little surprise, bless his heart." So saying, the stranger backed along with me into the parlour, and put me behind him in the corner, so that we were both hidden by the open door. I was very uneasy and alarmed, as you may fancy, and it added to my fears to observe that the stranger was certainly frightened himself. He cleared the hilt of his cutlass, and loosened the blade in its sheath, and all the time we were waiting there, he kept swallowing as if he felt a lump in his throat. At last in strode the captain, slammed the door behind him without looking to the right or left, and marched straight across the room to where his breakfast awaited him. "Bill," said the stranger in a voice that I thought he had tried to make bold and big. The captain spun around on his heel and fronted us. All the colour had gone out of his face, and he had the look of a man who sees a ghost, or the evil one, or something worse, if anything can be, and upon my word, I felt sorry to see him all in a moment turn so old and sick. "Come, Bill, you know your old shipmate, Bill, surely," said the stranger. The captain made sort of a gasp. "Black Dog," said he. "And who else?" returned the other, getting more at ease. "Black Dog as ever was, come to see his old shipmate Billy at the Admiral Benbow Inn. Ah, Bill, we've seen a sight of times, us two, since I lost them 2 talons," holding up his mutilated hand. "Now look here," said the captain, "you've run me down. Here I am. Well then, speak up. What is it?" "That's you, Bill," returned Black Dog. "You're in the right of it, Billy. I'll have a glass of rum from this dear child here, as I've took such a liking to, and we'll sit down, if you please, and talk square like old shipmates." When I returned with the rum, they were already seated on either side of the captain's breakfast table, Black Dog next to the door, and sitting sideways so as to have one eye on his old shipmate, and one, I thought, on his retreat. He bade me go and leave the door wide open. "None of your keyholes for me, sonny," he said. I left them together and retired to the bar. For a long time, though, I certainly did my best to listen. I could hear nothing but a slow gattling, but at last the voices began to grow higher, and I could pick up a word or two, mostly oaths from the captain. No, and an end of it, he cried at once, and again, if it comes to swinging, swing all, say I. And all of a sudden there was a tremendous explosion of oaths and other noises. A chair and table went over, a clash of steel followed, and then a cry of pain, and the next instant I saw a black dog in full flight, and the captain hotly in pursuit, both with drawn cutlasses, and the former streaming blood from the left shoulder. Just at the door the captain aimed at the fugitive one last tremendous cut, which would certainly have split him in two had it not been intercepted by our signboard of the Admiral Benbow. You may see a notch on the lower side of the frame to this day. That blow was the last of the battle. Once out upon the road, Black Dog, in spite of his wound, disappeared over the edge of the hill in half a minute. The captain, for his part, stood staring bewildered at our signboard. Then he passed his hand over his eyes several times, and at last turned back into the house. "Jim," says he, "rum." And as he spoke he reeled a little, and caught himself with one hand against the wall. "Are you hurt?" cried I. "Rum," he repeated. "I must get away from here. Rum, rum." I ran to fetch it, but I was quite unsteadied by all that had fallen out, and I broke one glass and fouled the tap. While I was still getting in my own way, I heard a loud fall in the parlour, and running in, beheld the captain lying full length upon the floor. At the same instant, my mother, alarmed by all the cries and fighting, came running downstairs to help me. Between us, we raised his head. He was breathing very loud and hard, but his eyes were closed, and his face a horrible colour. "Dear, dearie me," cried my mother. "What a disgrace upon the house! And your poor father sick!" In the meantime we had no idea what to do to help the captain, nor any other thought, but that he had been injured in the scuffle with the stranger. I got the rum, to be sure, and tried to put it down his throat, but his teeth were tightly shut, and his jaws as strong as iron. It was a happy relief for us when the door opened, and Dr. Livesey came in, on his visit to my father. "Oh, doctor," we cried, "what shall we do? Where is he wounded?" "Wounded? A fiddlestick's end," said the doctor. "No more wounded than you or I. The man has had a stroke, as I warned him. Now, Mrs. Hawkins, just you run upstairs to your husband and tell him, if possible, nothing about it. For my part, I must do my best to save this fellow's worthless life. Jim, you get me a basin." When I got back with the basin, the doctor had already ripped up the captain's sleeve and exposed his great sinewy arm. It was tattooed in several places, with "Here's the luck," "A fair wind," and "Billy Bones his fancy," which were very neatly and clearly executed on his forearm. And up near the shoulder there was a sketch of the gallows, and a man hanging from it, one, as I thought, with a great spirit. "Prophetic," said the doctor, touching this picture with his finger. "And now, Master Billy Bones, if that be your name, we'll have a look at the colour of your blood." "Jim," he said, "are you afraid of blood?" "No, sir," said I. "Well then," said he, "you hold the basin," and with that he took his lancet and opened a vein. A great deal of blood was taken before the captain opened his eyes, and looked mistily about him. First he recognised the doctor with an unmistakable frown, and then his glance fell upon me, and he looked relieved. But suddenly his colour changed, and he tried to raise himself, crying, "Where's Black Dog?" "There's no black dog here," said the doctor, "except what you have on your own back. You've been drinking rum, and you have had a stroke, precisely as I told you, and I have just very much against my own will dragged you head foremost out of the grave. Now, Mr. Bones, what I have to say to you is this. One glass of rum won't kill you, but if you take one, you'll take another, and I stake my wig if you don't break off short, you'll die. Did you understand that? Die. Come now, make an effort, and I'll help you to a bed for once." Between us, with much trouble, we managed to hoist him upstairs, and laid him on his bed, where his head fell back on the pillow, as if he were almost fainting. "Now, mind you," said the doctor, "I clear my conscience. The name of rum for you is death." And with that he went off to see my father, taking me with him by the arm. "This is nothing," he said as soon as he had closed the door. "I've drawn enough blood to keep him quiet a while. He should lie for a week where he is. That is the best thing for him and you, but another stroke would settle him."
Thanks for listening, guys. If there are any other public domain novels you'd be interested in hearing,
let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date with future recordings. See you next time.